to talk about our highlights.
Well, let's start talking about this certified integrative mental health provider certification, CEUs.
Yeah, for trauma and PTSD.
For specifically treating trauma and PTSD, yes, which is, but it's good for all. Right? Yeah. All right, so the secondary half of it. Thoughts?
Yes. I enjoyed the second half, talking more about like the medicine and stuff. Something that stood out to me was when they were talking about mustard baths. I'd never heard of that before. You could do like a little mustard paste on your chest. And also you can soak your feet in mustard and hot water to get rid of headaches. I thought that was super neat.
I haven't heard the one about headaches, but I have heard for illnesses and it's supposed to help with breathing, opening up airways.
Yeah.
So
I thought that was very interesting.
And I guess it would be kind of the similar, like with Vicks Vapor Rub, putting it on your feet.
Oh yeah,
that kind of same vein.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm like, I feel like what stood out to me was it was in the detox portion where she was talking about different ways to detox, and I just think there were, even in that and throughout the whole thing, there was a lot of emphasis on like group work and like having community, even in when she started talking about, I think it was like digestion and stuff, or because she got into herbal medicine and all the other things, but it was just saying like there was just a lot of emphasis on like either going like finding community and group.
If you look at indigenous cultures, they deal with, let's just say, basics, depression, anxiety. It's so much more than that, right? We're so much more complex than those two things. But looking at how indigenous cultures respond to that, and they don't pathologize it, right? They don't make it a thing, but every single one of them uses community as a portion of the healing journey. Every single one of them. It's really just, first world countries, in particular America, that has such emphasis on being independent and, the lone wolf and being so strong that you can manage it all by yourself. Well, no, you guys have heard me say this numerous times. We're herd animals. We need each other.
Yeah.
Right? Even with ADHD and the body doubling, knowing that you're not alone, somebody else is there struggling with you. Like, hello, there's a reason why these things work, but we think we need to do it all by ourselves, and then we shame ourselves because we're not successful, right? I was talking with some people today about, sobriety and walking that path, and, individuals that are strong enough to detox, they can do that, but they fail because they have yet to make the community and the support factors. So the next time something challenges them emotionally, they don't fall back into those old habits. They can then pick up the phone and say, hey, come sit with me, right? Or take a walk with me, or let's go, do something to get through that moment. They fail to learn how to commune.
Piggybacking off that, which is funny, because when she was talking about detoxing, for like alcohol specifically, I thought it was very interesting. She was like, places like when you're going to AA or something like that, they'll have like sweets and carbs there, which is not helping you, because alcohol is sugar and is carbs, and so you're not actually detoxing from it, even though you think you are, and like that.
You're just detoxing from
the thing, but not the entirety of like the substance in a way, because there's just sugar and carbs. Yeah, and so she emphasized like eating better carbohydrates that are better for you, and what else she said? Also exercise. She mentioned that a lot too, which I thought was...
Well, I mean, there's a reason why we call comfort foods. They and carbs do this, right? They're letting off the blood sugar, which gives us a rush, and so that feels good. But then it's also activating our whole digestive system, which is where we produce 90+% of our serotonin. So yeah, if our body is giving off blood sugar, right, the glucose, it's giving us a little hit, and then our body's also making serotonin, right? So that's how it makes that reinforcing behavior, right? So yeah, choosing good carbs that don't spike blood sugar, and you still get the serotonin because you're eating.
Yeah.
Right, and it's also activating your parasympathetic nervous system, right? Rest and digest.
Yeah. I did also like the stories that she had of like things that she's done with clients. She does a lot of body work, which isn't what like we do, right? Like specifically. But it was just interesting to see and hear her talk about how it's impacted people. Because we've talked a lot about like the vagus nerve and like how humming can be something that's good for like anxiety and stuff. And so the one story was she did the bee humming with somebody.
And like the different like octaves kind of.
Yeah, but they had this experience of where it felt like they heard angels like coming with them or something. Like it became very euphoric. And so I thought that was really cool and like interesting.
Yeah. So y'all need to also dive into Wim Hof. Do you know Wim Hof? Have you ever heard that name? Wim Hof, I believe it's WIM and then last name HOFF. He is big into cold plunges and breath work. And there's a lot of studies that say that you can have hallucinatory and near-death experiences by breath work. And we can see by EEG which areas of the brain are getting stimulated by gamma and by delta. And yes, you just were able to do that by breath alone. Wow. You didn't need to take psychotics and psychedelics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the easy way out, though. Like, you have to figure it
Everybody
out.
wants the easy way out. Give me a pill.
Right. Or like, let me take something.
Exactly.
Or let me eat mushrooms.
Me instead of me changing. Right?
Or doing the work. I think that's what I got out of it the most was, as she mentioned in part, like, it is a lot of work and it can be expensive, but it's like worth all of that.
You're investing in yourself.
It's right. It's the lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
Right. That most of us.
Your doctor's appointments are also expensive.
Yeah.
If you aren't taking care of yourself, right? So.
Yep.
But she did say it was like a systemic issue, right?
Yes.
And so I think I appreciated her like kind of connecting all of the dots.
Absolutely.
Yep. She did still talk a lot about butt stuff. So it was like a coffee enema. I have never heard of a coffee enema before.
I've heard of coffee enemas, but I was like, I would never do this in a million years.
Could you imagine putting caffeine there? Like, I'd be like, whoa. I mean, the colon is epithelial made up different, so it doesn't absorb things the way you would think.
But it's just interesting.
But there are people that are all for it, and
we are not those people.
Go for it. I'm personally not, but I've not ever been in a situation where I felt like I needed to turn to something like that, right? So take that with a grain of salt. Maybe I would, but I've just, that's never been.
Well, she talked about different like juicing and stuff like that too, and I was like, I can see myself doing more of those things, and like doing things for your liver and stuff like that. And she did emphasize that some of the things that feel a lot more far-fetched could be for people who like other things wouldn't work for.
Right. I mean, it's a gradient.
Like more severe cases. Yeah.
Right. I mean, 100%. I do believe it's like a gradient field, but I'm not there yet. And maybe, I don't know, it could be a week. It could be, a year, 10 before I go, maybe. I don't know, because I don't know where I'm going to be.
She seems like she's been through it all, so she's just like open and
I think so.
let me do everything.
I think it's also thinking outside of the box and being okay and looking at other cultures that have success. Right? I mean, you can't tell me that traditional Chinese medicine is a bunch of bullshit, because it works for a whole population.
Yeah.
And they're so what can we take, right? Like acupuncture is actually hitting the transorbicular vagal nerve, right? It's the auricular branch of the vagus nerve. There's also electrical stimulation, like we were talking about earlier, that makes a difference. Where I was doing the transcutaneous vagal stimulation, there's also the auricular. You're tapping into the same nerve in a different way, and it's going to be responding differently, and it would also then be needed for different things, right? But that works for a whole population.
Yeah. She said something really interesting about the size of your earlobes and with the vitality. Like, she was saying, like, people believe that if you have bigger earlobes, you have more vitality, so like you're less susceptible to like have addiction and like.
Well, that's ironic, because I'm not contradicting that at all, but it would explain different cultures and the ear stretching and all of that kind of stuff, right? Again, don't know how accurate it is, but if you watch an alcoholic, well, one, the earlobes keep growing, the ears keep growing, right, throughout our life. That's why your grandparents literally had bigger ears than, like, there's that, Grandpa, what big ears you have? Like, there's a reason why that is made it into nursery rhymes. But if you're an addict, especially alcoholic, the nose becomes very bulbous, and the ears also, and the texture changes of both of those things. So that's odd. Like, how I'm sure it all makes sense and it fits, but I can't piece it together right now as to why. But it's interesting.
But that would be inflammation induced too, right? Because of
with the alcoholic, it has to do with broken capillaries, and I think the veins, the capillaries are trying to make new ones, and so I think that's why yes, it's inflammation, but there's more to it than just that.
Interesting.
But yeah,
very interesting.
So.
I felt like there is so much still to know, because as I was watching it, I was like, she's saying all of these things, and like I feel definitely more confident in the current knowledge base that I have, but then it like opened up a Pandora's box of like, I don't know anything. Like, it's almost like you got waterboarded with all of this information, and it's like, okay, well, now I need to go back and watch it again, and then maybe I need to go like on the things that are super interesting, go learn something else, because it's almost like now you're aware and you can like refer out where needed, and you'll know how to help advocate for your client, right? Versus being the expert of all of the things.
Right. Absolutely. We can't. We can't. And I think it happens to new graduates all the time. I hear it. Well, and I read it in social media of what's the best certification to get after. Like, you don't need any certifications. You have a license. A license trumps a certification. But finding that knowledge, right? There's so much that can affect mental health. There's no way you can be an expert in all of that. Know your place, know it well, and make your referral partners. You have to. You cannot know it all, but you can go, oh, this reminds me of, try this. Right? And it's theirs to walk down the path.
I was able to, so funny, and I thought about it when I was in session with a client of like, they were talking about having a hard time sleeping, And then because I watched her videos, I was like, how's your gut? I'm like, well, I actually have gut things too. And I was like, oh, this is interesting.
That goes back to that should be a part of your biopsychosocial spiritual assessment, right? It's what I do with mine a lot, and they always kind of look at me funny, and they're like, what, why are you, like, how does my food have to do with this? Well, your food does have to do with it, right? Again, just the very easy broad swipe of, we have ultra processed, we have processed foods, and then we have our what we hope is fresher at the grocery store. Ugh. Right? And I know we go into a whole deep dive on those apples, but right? It's just a representation of where we're at right now. But even just going like that, like I have a client that Revelations individual has been eating Chick-fil-A every day for the last 6 months. There's no cooking, there's no fresh food, caffeine, starting off with a large iced coffee, no sugars and
Their
stuff
iced
in it.
coffee's intense too at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, but
it's like cold brew.
Well, no, this McDonald's.
Oh, okay. Boo.
That's the start of the day,
Yeah.
and then finishing with Chick-fil-A, and that's it. Like all you did was, like, you put in glumpy, old, low octane fuel into your Lambo. Like, what did you do that for? You can't expect it to perform well when you're not giving it good fuel.
It reminds me of the Teletubbies goop.
Oh,
yes, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
that was a
their
forbidden
food that
thing
they
in my house.
Yeah.
We did not
watch
that
the
never
Teletubbies.
came on ever. I lost brain cells the first time it came on, and I said never
again.
So,
but no. Jay mentioned that they have they have regular customers at Chick-fil-A. They're every day, know them by name, all the things. But there's a guy who goes in there, he's like coughing and hacking, and he's like, why is he here eating what he's eating?
Yeah.
Like,
how do you expect your body to get better?
Yeah,
if you're not?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I'm not digging on Chick-fil-A, but
no, but it's not.
I think
all
it's
about
probably
balance.
a better choice out there. Can be, depending on what you're getting, but it's still, you cannot beat fresh food, right?
But they're still using oils and stuff too, like vegetable oil and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So all of those things
that's actually
fall
what bothers me the most.
Yeah, like all of that falls into you're not controlling what it's being cooked with. It could be the best chicken, but if you're dumping it in vegetable oil, what are we doing?
When I was having the grilled nuggets, every single time I would get the grilled nuggets and the thing of fruit. That's all I got, right? And literally water. My stomach would hurt every single time, and we were able to figure it out. It's the oil that they use to grill, right? And apples. They put a lot of apples in their stuff, and apples don't like me, or I don't like apples. But I like the taste, but my body hates them. But figuring that stuff out and getting to a point where you're ready to do the work.
Yeah.
Right, and that's where we just have to provide the information and hope that when they're ready, they'll remember, or they'll seek us out again, and we can walk with them on that. But yes, I'm glad that it gave you brain niggles to go and I'm going to look up this, and I'm going to look up this, and I think that's the best thing that you can do in the field.
Yep, 39 hours.
I know.
Glad it's out of our lives.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Not the information.
Yes.
But
Next book.
So, but yes,
we're reading
month,
again.
We are reading again.
I know we were missing reading.
Yes. So,
Raising Mentally Strong Kids by Dr. Ammon and Charles Fay, PhD.
Yes, Charles Fay is, I believe he was the one who was the child
of Love and Logic. His dad was a psychologist.
Yes, his dad wrote Love and Logic, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like a building office thing, like a program.
Yes, it's Love and Logic is an amazing program for raising children. I still hands down recommend it, even though it is so old and there are newer things out there, but Love and Logic is tried and true, and it works. If you'll start when the kids are little, you can build up with it. But I also believe that he currently, or has in the past, been the child psychologist for like Foster CPS in LA.
Oh,
I
cool.
remember correctly. I could be totally talking out my ass right now, but I feel like that's him.
Interesting.
But
Well,
regardless,
I'm excited to read it.
Yeah, it's really good so far.
Yeah, Dr. Amen is amazing, and you know, he's always very holistic, integrative.
Yep.
So,
And it goes well with the functional medicine.
yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
And it's back to school, so it'll be a fun read.
Yep, absolutely.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. So
We'll see y'all next time.
See you
Reconvene.
next time.